1957 Porsche Speedster, one of my all-time favorite cars behind me. And guys, it's a replica, but this car is very unique. It's made by a company in Southern California. The customer ordered it, and you can't tell the difference unless you are a Porsche expert. We had to take off the bumper, the lights. There was a lot of little pieces that we had to remove. Right now we're prepping it and deconning it, and we're gonna be doing paint protection film, no patterns, which means it's a custom installation when applying the paint protection film. Guys, I'm Rich Light, owner of Gloss IT. If you're looking to protect your car, we've been in business for 3 decades, and we're leaders in the industry for training on paint protection, coatings, and paint correction. So guys, if you'd like to get your car protected, meet with myself or my team, click the link below. $500 off full nose PPF, first-time customers must qualify, and up to 50% off select ceramic coatings, must see the vehicle. Let's get you protected. I'll see you soon.
It's game time and I'm up one.
How many bottles of product? So we're about building relationships. So I'm a team of Gloss IT, the fastest growing brands for detailing products, chemicals, and coatings in the world. Bezos. 2 guys, Bezos. How do you say maricón in Portuguese? Is it maricón?
Yeah.
Marica. Marica.
Yeah.
John, Marica? Maybe.
Sometimes.
So you guys like this challenge of this job?
Sorry?
Do you like the challenge of this job?
It's amazing.
It's cool. All right, guys, welcome to another edition of the Weekly Buff. And as you guys know, I am a Porsche enthusiast. I collect Porsches. I have the Porsche GT2 RS, and I have a Porsche Speedster, a Porsche Macan. So this customer brought this vehicle into this. This is what we call a replica. But I gotta tell you, this replica was really spot on. I know Speedsters. This is a 57. Company is Vintage Motor Cars out of Hawaiian Gardens. Built this car for this client, and guys, they did an absolute phenomenal job. Now the paint job on this car was well done, but wasn't cut and polished properly, and there was no way we were going to put paint protection film or ceramic coating down without getting this paint dialed in, and what a difference it did make. Now this was a 2-step process using our Evo 21 dual action polisher and the Evo pads, and this is why we tell people we need to see the car. I don't care if it's brand new, used. We don't know the history of the car, but you also want it PPF, which is a very difficult car to install because there are no patterns for this car. And look at the curves on this car. It's got compound curves around the headlights, and we had to find a way to put the seams in it to make it look factory, but get the nose wrapped. John worked on this car along with Josh. These are 2 of our PPF technicians who worked on this car, and they did a fabulous job, and the customer actually was stoked when they came to pick up the car. Paint protection film is a great option, especially on vintage cars. And if you spend this kind of money to repaint or refinish, you don't want to get in rock chips and damage, and he was already starting to get some road rash, but thank God he brought it into us to get it protected. So guys, we're not just a shop here in Vegas. We're experts in the industry for the last 30 plus years of teaching and coaching people on how to execute this type of work. And there's a lot of pseudo installers and experts. As you can see, we also use a laser on the car for precision to make sure everything was lined up to exact measurements to make sure it looked factory, and we didn't work on it. We also took the headlights off and the wipers and all the trim and the badges so you wouldn't have any release lines or edges. Now our Evo Pro 98 ceramic coating was applied to the finish. This is a high solid resin silica SiO2, and we did 2 layers, a base coat and then a top coat, using our ceramic detail spray to wipe it down. Guys, any of the products you see in this video, we sell it online at glossit.com. We also have tutorial videos or DIY videos on the website, or you can find them at glossit.tv, which is our YouTube channel that you're currently watching this video. Guys, remember, devil's in the details, and if you don't have the details down, you don't stand out from the rest. We have over 740 Google reviews in Vegas and counting, and we've been doing this for over 3 decades. If you'd love to get an estimate, go to gidetail.com, set up an estimate, do a consultation with myself or my team, and let's get you protected. Now you can see attention to detail. He wanted these custom medallions put on the interior, on the dash. This was period correct from Porsche when they built this car, and it was a nice touch or detail on the dash. We did polish it out before. We also placed a Porsche gold emblem on the rear above the factory emblem below the intake, as you see on the rear deck lid of the vehicle, and the front was also applied. Now guys, as I always say, the sun never lies. You can see this vehicle in direct sunlight. This is one beautiful Porsche Speedster. This thing will classic, and today when you see it rolling down the street, you're gonna turn heads and say, what is that? I mean, this is ahead of its time, and this was built in the 50s, and Porsche was innovative in the industry with their boxer motor, and this thing could handle like any sports car today in the market, but was over 70 years old. All right, guys, customer release, overhauling. Nope, it's not Chip Foose's show, it's a Gloss IT show.
Jesus, that's insane.
First time they've seen it since they dropped it off last Saturday. Yeah. You can't tell there's film. Now, film's not perfect, as we always say, paint protection is not paint perfection, right? But under the focus lighting, I mean, there's some imperfections from the guy that built it, and he did a great job on the paint, and thank God it didn't lift the paint, right?
Yeah, that was the biggest concern.
What we did notice is where you take these mounts off here and here, behind it, the paint was chipped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but these are covering up, so you're not gonna see it until we pulled it off. And then we had a trickery of a time with those bolts in the corners, but we got them back in.
Did you end up cutting those off?
Yep, we just cut the tip off, but they're fastened, and we put Loctite, okay? But you can't tell. Now, we had to remove the carpet on the inside, which I wasn't comfortable with, but we did. And we were able to re-glue it so it looks factory again, okay? I didn't want cutouts around here, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So if you saw the pictures, we actually took this off, right? And put it back on. So it doesn't look like there's film on here. You remember the release cuts that we talked about? You gotta look for them.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for when I first was looking at it to see if it was noticeable. You can, only because you told me right where that one would be, I know we can see that one. But yeah, the front, I thought maybe much more noticeable, but you can't even tell.
Super tight, isn't it? And this is not an easy car to, we have to hand cut this, there's no patterns for it. You gotta stretch the material, and if you stretch it too much, you can get like stretch marks. And so this was a little bit tricky. We took the badges off, put everything back on. You can't even tell, nobody's gonna be able to tell that we wrapped this.
No, not at all. And you can't even tell the difference between just the front to the rest of its side now that it's all done.
It looks like a new car.
Right?
Yeah, looks great.
Not that it looked bad when they brought it in, that's the truth. But it now is really popping. That black is really vibrant, right? It's got that velvety kind of smooth, wet pull of black paint to it. So explain to people out there your story, because they're gonna wanna know, this is a replica, this is not a factory numbers matching car. Share them out there, how you picked this car, how you picked the builder out of California. People wanna know.
Yeah, I looked into one of these for a long time now. Been wanting one to get sort of the California vibe out here, living in Vegas now. And looked into, there's pretty much 2 reputable builders. Found this one out in Southern California, so it's been about a year, a little over a year in the making. And yeah, when it finally showed up, it looked good, but did have a little bit of paint issues from what I could see. And the last thing I wanted to do was be driving around Vegas and have the front of it sandblasted with rocks and dirt and everything else. So I knew protection was going to be the number one concern when it arrived.
People are looking to build a car and picking an expert to build a replica car, what kind of advice would you give people? Because you did your research before you found the builder.
Yeah, I looked into that for about 6 months, looking at all the different builders. There's a lot of forums, a lot of boards, a lot of information out there. But the communities are pretty good in terms of letting you know who to go with, who to stay away from. I went out to the builder here in California. Personally, we went out there, checked them out the end of last year, spoke with them, toured the facility, went through all the steps and stages, and after talking to a few other builders, it was kind of the same way we chose you for our PPF and paint protection. We did a lot of research and we discovered that it seemed to be the best choice for us. And so yeah, and then once it arrived, we brought it over here to you.
So explain to people why it's important to shop expectations versus just focusing on price, right? Explain to them why that's so important, because a lot of people today, we notice, come in here and it's very price driven, and we call it having champagne taste on a beer budget, and they want perfection, and they don't even have a budget for perfection, which perfection doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Because all cars have flaws. I don't care what kind of car it is, whether it's a $3 million Pagani or a $50,000 Tesla, right? They all have paint imperfections. But being realistic about it, how is your experience versus like have you had this type of work done before? And if you hadn't, what did you experience? What did you feel confident? Did you feel comfortable through the whole process?
Yeah, I definitely felt comfortable. Again, we did a lot of research on this process months before the car even showed up. So I had kind of an expectation of what it would take, and knowing that the curves of this and having no real breaks in the body, that it was going to be sort of a custom job. So I knew I wanted somebody that could do the job and do it right, and also somebody that could do it right the first time. And yeah, I'd seen a bunch of work from a bunch of different places, and it kind of kept coming back to you guys. So when I came over, checked it out, everything seemed to look good in your shop, and seeing it firsthand. I think the difference here was much more of showing versus selling, which I thought was a major plus. And like I said, seeing your guys firsthand doing the work, seeing the work done on your own vehicles, and seeing the longevity that's some of the cars that you have that has lasted, seemed like a no-brainer. And being able to walk me through the whole process step by step, and
yeah, we show you the products, right? So it's about show me, don't tell me. And so I wanted to make them feel comfortable showing them other cars on the property, whether it was customer cars, my cars, cars in progress. So they kind of have an idea, and the transparency of bringing you into the shop and not keeping you in a showroom or an office, trying to sell you on a transaction, and you're not 100% comfortable because you haven't seen the work,
right.
you know? And a lot of people in the industry, that's why we have Gloss University, where we coach other professionals in the industry, because it's not just about being the technician, it's about building the relationship with the customer. It's about setting clear expectations with the customer, and also servicing the customer after you do the job, right? And being around as long as the product you're warranting. That's really important. So it's about asking the right questions, which you guys clearly did your homework and asked the right questions, but it's trying to give more people advice. That's why I do the weekly buff, to tell cool stories with cool cars and people, because everybody's got a story and every car's got a story, right?
Right.
And this is really important for people to understand what makes us stand out from the competition, right? Is that we set the standard, right? As a premium shop. And if you're looking for an average job and you don't want to pay the money, or you want a premium, you got to figure out what you want, right? Ask the right questions. And as you can see, this car, we took everything apart. We made sure everything worked. The turn signals work. The lights are back on. Everything is functioning the way it should be, you know? And there's no cut marks. And taking apart is super important, because that additional detail makes it look that good, right?
Yeah, and it was impressive that once I just came here just to meet with you, we talked about, you walked me through the whole process, that not only did you take it right that day, but within an hour you already have parts coming off of it and you're already getting started. So yeah, so yeah, that was very impressive.
I think that, learn from my family. My father, who's been a self-employed guy for his whole life, it's about, setting clear expectations, but also execution, right? And do what you say you're gonna do, and promise less than what you're actually gonna do, and then people won't be disappointed, So under promise, over deliver, and that's really important. And we're gonna wanna see this car in a couple weeks, because there's a curing process, just like window tint. So we're gonna wanna double check, make sure nothing is puckered, moved. And that's another thing, is what we check the cars, and it's a lot of work. Every single car comes through here 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, we wanna look at it again, right? And that way we can catch anything, because there's no perfect world, it doesn't exist. But as long as you back up your work and you do what you say, then everybody's gonna be good. So what would you recommend to people out there in Vegas to have this done to the car, and why is it important? It's an investment, it's not just a cost.
Yeah, definitely an investment, but we know we're going to keep this for a long period of time. And like I said, being out here with the climate and the weather and the dirt and the rocks and all those sort of things, we made it a priority to make the investment to protect this. And so I think if you have something that's like this that you do want to protect, that it's definitely worth the time, the money and the investment, just to come come here, see Rich, get it done right the first time, and yeah, it looks amazing.
So we appreciate the business to you and your partner.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Guys, if you want to be featured on the Weekly Buff and you got a cool story with a cool car, we're always looking for good content for our channel. Go to gidetail.com. We'll see you next week. This is Rich. Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Now, if you're a professional detailer and you're looking to grow your business, go ahead and click the video here. If you are a weekend warrior and you want to learn some pro detailing tips, go ahead and click here. And if you're looking to get into the detail business or you want to grow your detail business, go ahead and click below.